Hey, it's Alex. I'm going to walk through why a backyard kennel can feel like a gamble and how the 8x16 Yard Boss from Cove Products either pays off or ends up as another piece of metal you're not sure what to do with. If you're on the fence about spending a few $100 on a permanent outdoor doghouse, this review is meant to help you judge the real value, the day-to-day usability, and whether it actually fits the kind of dog life you have. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the biggest hesitation I hear from owners is, will this hold up for my big, energetic Labrador, or will it buckle after a few months of weather and a couple of enthusiastic jumps? That's a fair concern because a flimsy metal frame can turn a simple yard shelter into a safety risk. The Yard Boss advertises heavy-duty construction, a weather-resistant roof, and a powder-coated finish, so the question becomes, does that translate into a sturdy, low-maintenance space that actually protects a dog from rain, wind, and the occasional backyard tumble? I've spent the last week setting this up in a suburban lot that gets a mix of hot summers and rainy winters. The frame is welded steel, and the powder coating feels solid under the fingertips, no sharp edges, no raw metal spots. In practice, that means my two medium-sized retrievers can push and paw at the door without denting the sides, and the roof held up to a sudden downpour without any leaks. The weather-resistant roof is made of a molded plastic panel that sits on a steel frame. When I tested it with a garden hose, water ran off cleanly, there was no pooling that could seep into the interior. That's a real win if your yard isn't under a covered patio and you rely on the kennel to stay dry. Now, the spacious and comfortable claim is more than just marketing speak. The 8x16 footprint actually gives a decent amount of room for a large dog to stretch out, turn around, and even have a small toy or water bowl in one corner without feeling cramped. I placed a raised dog bed in the back half and left the front half open for a food station. My dogs settled in within minutes and seemed to prefer the raised area when the ground was damp after a rain. For owners with two dogs, the size is a sweet spot. You get enough room for them to share without crowding each other, which can reduce the likelihood of resource guarding. One of the standout features is the modular and expandable design. Cove sells additional panels that lock into the existing frame, letting you grow the kennel if you ever need a bigger space or want to connect it to a fence line. In my test, snapping the side panels together was straightforward, a few clicks and the bolts lock into place, and there's no need for extra tools. The downside is that the locking mechanism feels a bit stiff after a couple of uses. If you're planning to reconfigure the layout often, you'll probably need a bit of elbow grease each time. For most owners who set it up once and leave it, that's not a major inconvenience. The secure door latch is another practical point. It's a double locking bar that you pull up and slide into place, which gives a sense of confidence that a determined dog can't just nudge the door open. During a quick test, I tried to yank the door with a rope, and the latch held firm. However, the latch does have a small amount of resistance when you first pull it. It can feel a little stuck if your hands are wet or you're wearing gloves. A quick spray of lubricant fixes it, but it's worth noting for anyone who might need to open and close the door frequently throughout the day. What about the hidden trade-offs? The steel frame, while sturdy, adds weight. Moving the kennel even a short distance takes a couple of people, so it isn't a portable solution you'd slide around the yard every weekend. If you live in a rental property and anticipate needing to disassemble the structure for a move, you'll have to budget time and help. The powder-coated finish resists rust, which is a huge plus for a region with salty winter roads, but I did notice a few thin scratches on the side panels after my dogs dug around the perimeter. Those scratches didn't lead to any rust in my short testing period, but they could become entry points for corrosion over years if not touched up. So, who should seriously consider buying this Yard Boss? If you have at least a medium to large dog, or a small pack of dogs that spend a lot of time outside, the size and durability line up nicely. It's also a solid choice for owners who want a semi-permanent shelter that can handle the elements without needing a roof tarp or extra insulation. The modular option adds future-proofing for anyone who might expand their yard or add a fenced play area later. And if you're someone who hates cleaning,